The war over the Cauvery river water continues to rage. In fact, it has intensified. Karnataka has been crippled by a statewide bandh, and this time protesters in the state are taking on Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha directly. Those against the release of Cauvery water to Tamil Nadu were seen brandishing posters of Jayalalitha with horns and skulls around her neck. This water war is expected to get even uglier in the hours and the days ahead. No end so far to the Cauvery water crisis. It's an all-out war between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Dawn to dusk, Karnataka Bandh, called by pro-Kannada outfits against the Supreme Court order, was observed today and is on even as we speak. Massive protests were also staged across the state. Meanwhile, Karnataka's Chief Minister has written a letter to Prime Minister Modi asking him to step in before things get completely out of hand. Here's a ground report.
Karnataka on the boil. The Cauvery water wars intensify. Massive protests across one of India's most progressive states.
They're saying that Karnataka is in extreme distress. Karnataka as a state had faced drought, and as of now it had 50% deficit of rains, and that Tamil Nadu, though has seen floods and heavy rains, they should not have dimension, and they will continue their protests in their way as long as they feel that justice has been delivered to the state of Karnataka.
Normal life came to a grinding halt as a total shutdown was observed in Karnataka against the Supreme Court's order asking the Karnataka government to release Cauvery water to Tamil Nadu. Public transport was affected as state transport buses stayed off roads. Auto rickshaw and cab unions also extended their support to the Bandh call. Banks, government offices and schools remained shut as anger boiled over, with activists hitting the streets across the state. In Bengaluru's town hall, the protesters displayed posters of Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha with horns and skulls.
जब तक ये लोग बंद नहीं करेगा, ये इस साल पानी हमारे पास नहीं है, नहीं देंगे. अभी जो दिया वो ठीक है, आगे नहीं देंगे.
Drinking water for their needs, and the entire Karnataka is relentless in their protests, blocking highways, burning effigies, as well as protesting until their demand is met.
Meanwhile, the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah shot off a letter to Prime Minister Modi demanding his intervention in the Cauvery row. With the protests intensifying, the crisis is unlikely to be over soon.
I want to go straight across now to India Today's Rohini Swami and Pratibha Raman, our two reporters who've been leading with our coverage from the ground in the most affected areas as the Bandh has crippled much of Karnataka. Rohini, coming to you first. Are things going to get any better starting tomorrow?
Well, in terms of the Bandh, well, we can see that life will start limping back into normalcy tomorrow. But in terms of the crisis, well, it's a long-standing issue. Now, what we need to know is how the committee, the supervisory committee, when they come and they inspect the area, especially the state of Karnataka, in terms of the water levels that are there, what decision they would make, that will be very crucial. Because now the Karnataka government is they're pinning their hopes on that particular decision of the Cauvery committee. Now, the Karnataka government is saying that they are in a shortage of water. They have around 47 TMC of water to last till June 2017. The requirement that needs to be given to Tamil Nadu is around 30 plus TMC. That means only a 16 or 17 TMC left for Karnataka to handle drinking water purposes and irrigation purposes. And that is where the farmers of the belt from Mysore to all the way to Bangalore through Mandya have been saying that the farmers of Karnataka need the water rather than releasing water for the samba crop in Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
We've been seeing protests all through the day, and these are the protesters from morning till evening. You all have been here. If I can quickly get in a word from you, your protest, how long will you continue?
Till the justice is served to our farmers, and also the drinking water is supplied to Bangalore without any hindrance there.
But this is a long-standing problem, sir. From 1800s, 1886 till today, century old almost.
Yes.
But at the same time, there seems to be no solution. Do you think it's being politicized?
Yeah, it is actually politicized. Madam, ನಮಗೆ ಇವಾಗ ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅಂಥದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡಿಗೆ ನೀರು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. ಸೊ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನೀರು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರೋದನ್ನ ಇವಾಗಲೇ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
So the demand is that they should stop releasing the water, though the Supreme Court had very clearly said that 15,000 cusecs of water need to be released over 9 days. That needs to be stopped, because if they don't do that, then the farmers of Karnataka will suffer. The demands are very simple. Stop the water. This is a distress formula that may be put in place. Put that in place, because in 1995, as the Chief Minister of Karnataka quoted in his letter to Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, saying that the water was stopped for a bit for some time. Let that distress formula be at least try to be put in place, so that at least lives are not lost, because it's about not only about a sentiment, but this is a real problem that is seen on the ground.
It's a real problem. It's not just a ritualistic battle between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Pratibha Raman actually travelled to some of the most affected zones, including Mysuru and Mandya, which actually really is the hotbed of Cauvery politics. Pratibha, pretty dramatic, pretty scary, pretty disturbing images of those protests, and those are likely to continue.
Well, that's right. In fact, the sentiment that is echoed on the streets of Bengaluru as well as the entire state is the fact that these protests are a means to try and see that the Karnataka government would pay heed to their request, because number one, to start with, they feel that the Karnataka government hasn't really represented the state of farmers and their distress in the most effective manner at the Supreme Court. I have with me some of these protesters. क्या एक तरह की डिसअपॉइंटमेंट है सिद्धरामैया की वजह से, जिस तरह से उन्होंने इस लड़ाई को अपेक्स कोर्ट में लिया है?
नहीं, वो सिद्धरामैया से नहीं है. एक्चुअली सुप्रीम कोर्ट में ये क्या हुआ है वो बराबर नहीं है, क्योंकि इधर पीने को और इधर हमारा फार्मर को भी पानी नहीं है. इधर कम में करके सबको भी मालूम है, लेकिन इधर से पानी छोड़ा है. वो जस्टिस नहीं है. क्या सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जस्टिस गया वो बराबर नहीं, क्योंकि वो जस्टिस लेने के पहले इधर कितना है कितना पानी है करके देख के वो जस्टिस करना था.
Nobody really knows the ground reality before which there are such kind of orders that are being passed, and that is the sentiment that's echoed. क्या आपको लगता है? Do you feel that these protests must continue until the time that the Karnataka government represents the farmers' distress in the most effective manner?
Yeah, surely. We agree with that thing. The Karnataka government should fight for this thing, because everybody needs the water. Our farmers is already in drought condition, so they must fight for this thing, for the water.
More or less becoming a political and a judicial tug of war, but nobody really realizes that at the end of the day it is the farmers of the Cauvery basin who are the real sufferers. Shiv.
Thanks very much, Pratibha and Rohini, for getting us the very latest on that. I want to go across. That was Raj Mohan. He's a very, very popular speaker. He's got his YouTube channel, Put Chutney, on YouTube. Very popular. Raj Mohan, you know, I understand Tamil, so I was able to understand every word of that very enlightening video that you put out. And it has definitely struck a chord with me, Raj. It is something that we should all be wondering about when there are so many problems already between these two states. You know, when Tamil Nadu and Karnataka should be united in their many similarities, yet we are allowing this decades-old problem to simply become worse and worse, Raj.
Yes, definitely. It's not about between a clash or a battle between Tamil Nadu versus Karnataka or Tamils versus Kannadigas.
Yes.
Both the sides, we know how much we equally contribute for the welfare of the economy and for both the states. It is a simple water dispute between two neighboring states which is not yet settled for more than 100 years. I wonder why this much of attention is given for fringe elements. This Bandh is personally, it's a national shame and contempt of court. I wonder why this much of anger, enmity. We are sharing our river with neighboring countries. We are sharing our river with Bangladesh and Pakistan. Why can't you share your river with your neighboring state?
Yes. Raj, you know...
the whole video, the essence of the video is asking questions.
Raj, you know, your video goes into a question that, you know, many politicians don't seem to be, you know, willing to ask. Because as you said, there are fringe elements involved, there are certain unions involved, certain vested interests involved, and of course political parties involved, because there is so much to gain from playing politics over Cauvery water. But at the end of the day, I'm sure you must be getting thousands, if not millions of comments on your videos. What are some of the reactions that you've got on your video? Youngsters, the new generation of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu must be agreeing with you 100%?
I witnessed two kinds of persons in my comments area. One is the younger generation of Tamil Nadu. They are so keen and they are, it's an awakening call for them. They started wondering how much we are so blindfold for these much of years and these much of months. Other group of people from Karnataka, my good friends, they are showing their enmity, they are showing their anger and frustration on comments. I personally don't look them as Karnataka citizens. I look them as Indians.
Correct.
And I want them to look as in the same perspective. I love equally, even I love Anil Kumble more than Ravichandran and Ashwin. Come on, this is India. Every time any river issue, either Cauvery or Mullai Periyar Dam or anything, Jallikattu, Sri Lanka Tamil issue, why this much of injustice is happening only to Tamil people? These kind of circumstances, this kind of bandh and this kind of enmity, no one single MLA or MP, member of parliament is affected. Only laymen, farmers, vendors, traveling people, the travelers gets affected.
No Kannadigas, no Tamilians, we are all Indians. We can't have bandhs against each other. I think you've said it very wisely. I hope the people of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu are listening. I know millions of them are watching this show tonight, and I hope that they will be, listening to the essence of what you have to say, because I think that's very important going forward. We can't wage violence against our very own people and have so much hostility built up over so many years against our own people just across an imaginary state boundary. Rajmohan, congratulate you on that video. Thank you for speaking out, and thanks very much for joining us on Up South this evening. But let's take a look at what this Cauvery problem really is. We're not simplifying it. We're not saying that it is not a problem at all. It's an age-old issue, and that's the reason why it still evokes such passions. But it cannot be solved with the wave of a hand. It's not just about emotions. The problem is too deeply rooted in the psyche of the two states involved in it. Here's a look at just where it all begins.
A 120-year-old war for water continues even today. Only the faces have changed. On the streets, the mood is more combative. The latest Supreme Court order to Karnataka asking the state to release Cauvery water to Tamil Nadu has not been taken well by farmers in the state. Protests have broken out all over the state.
Dramatic images of protests you see in Karnataka at this time actually date back to an angst that goes back many, many years. It actually dates back to the year 1892, when a deal was actually struck between the Madras Presidency and the princely state of Mysore. But at that time, the deal was something that did not make the state of Karnataka happy. The fight continued over a fair share of water off the Cauvery river between Karnataka and the state of Tamil Nadu. The central government formed a tribunal to sort out this very, very contentious issue in 1990, but it took 17 years for that verdict to actually come out. That's how much evidence there was, and that's how intricate this entire this case was. All four states actually appealed against the verdict. That's also Karnataka and the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh. The centre made the tribunal verdict final in 2013. Many, many years later, that verdict actually became final, but it has continued to be an extremely contentious issue between the two states, and that's why during drought years and otherwise, you see it flare up in such a big manner like you are seeing this year.
The source of river Cauvery lies in Karnataka. It originates from district Kodagu. It then flows west, crossing Mysuru before crossing into Tamil Nadu at Meghedat. It travels a majority of its 800-kilometer length in Tamil Nadu and joins the Bay of Bengal near Chidambaram. What Karnataka is vexed about is the fact that it gets a lower share of Cauvery water, just 37%. A minuscule 4% goes to Kerala. Tamil Nadu gets a lion's share of 58%, with the rest 1% going to Puducherry. While Karnataka insists it's been given a raw deal, Tamil Nadu says its farmers have come to depend on the water and it cannot compromise even a bit. Bureau Report, India Today.
And West Indies superstar and Bangalore captain Chris Gayle was in the capital for the launch of his new book titled Six Machine. Gayle, who's known for his super knocks for the Bangalore Royal Challengers, spoke about his mammoth innings of 175 against Pune in the IPL and even claimed that he could have scored a double ton that day. Take a look at this exclusive conversation.
He's the king of the cricket pitch, a world boss as he calls himself, and now Chris Gayle is going to be called the Six Machine, the title of his new book. Six Machine, I don't like cricket, I love it. Chris Henry Gayle is with me. First of all, how does it feel to come back to India and launch your book here? Big moment in your life?
It is. You mentioned the world boss is actually the universe boss.
Yes,
now.
I should correct myself.
Yeah, I've actually stepped it up a bit now, so it's the universe boss.
Yeah.
It's good to be back in India, and it's always good to be here. And you know, I've been on a actually school tour as well.
Yeah.
Get a chance to interact with some kids. It's been fantastic in Chennai, Velamal and the MOP. So it was fantastic. You know, a lot of crowd, a lot of buzz. You know, it's India, so it's always going to be electrified.
The one knock that you're obviously known for is obviously the 175 in the IPL, the highest T20 score. And you mentioned in your book that you felt so good that day, and there was so much time for you, you could have achieved the 200-run mark.
Yeah, I could have actually, you know, get 200 in that particular game. You know, I mean, we have a rain interrupted at a particular start of the play. When I went back in the dressing room, you know, Ravi Rampal was there, and I was like, Ravi, the first couple of overs I faced, we have to get a 170, 180 plus to actually win the game because the wicket was so good, you know, based on the couple of overs I've actually faced. And I eventually get 175 myself. So that was a team total we're looking at. You know, but at the same time, when I was there, even when AB come and score, you know, 5 at 30, I maybe have about 8 balls or something like that, you know, was so there was the taking at that time. If you look at it, I was in, if they say Chris take the strike, yes, I could have get the 200, you know, but it was a team thing, and in everybody, the foundation was actually set already.
Yeah.
So everybody could just come in freely and just do whatever they want.
They should have given you more strike, isn't it? That's what AB should have done.
Yeah, AB should have given me the strike. Yes, AB, you should have given me the strike. So I could have get a double century, okay? But the team come first though.